In the dark immensity of space, where time and distance lose their meaning, a silent machine traversed Earth's orbit, executing a mission shrouded in absolute mystery. Its return, under the cover of night, marked the end of a 434-day journey, but it did not bring clear answers, only more questions. The aircraft in question, the X-37B, the enigmatic spaceplane of the United States Space Force. Its purpose, though disguised with technical words and carefully crafted statements, remains hidden behind a veil of secrecy. The history of clandestine missions in space is not new. Since the Cold War, the United States and other powers have carried out operations in Earth's orbit with objectives never fully disclosed. But the X-37B is not just any satellite or conventional project. It is a reusable spacecraft, created by Boeing and originally conceived by NASA before being absorbed into the military domain in 2004. Since then, it has been the protagonist of missions that defy all explanation, fueling the boldest theories about its true purpose. On December 29, 2023, the X-37B launched into space aboard a powerful SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Its destination, a highly elliptical orbit that allowed it to perform maneuvers never before seen in its previous missions. And so, its long and silent journey began. For years, defense experts have speculated about the real reason for the X-37B's existence. While official agencies insist its goal is to test reusable technology and conduct scientific experiments, the international community suspects it is a platform for surveillance, espionage, or even space warfare experiments. During its time in orbit, the spacecraft conducted a series of aerobraking tests. This technique, which involves using atmospheric resistance to reduce speed without consuming fuel, is one of many pieces of the puzzle that analysts try to decipher. Although on the surface it appears to be an efficient maneuver to extend the lifespan of satellites and spacecraft, some experts believe it could be used to change orbit unpredictably, making the craft disappear from the radars of other nations. A simple efficiency trick, or a new method of orbital warfare? Another key aspect of Mission 7 was its involvement in experiments related to space radiation and so-called space domain awareness technology. This last term, vague enough to mean anything, has sparked speculation about the spacecraft's possible ability to detect, track, and possibly interfere with other satellites. In an era where space supremacy is the new frontier of technological warfare, a system with these capabilities could completely shift the balance of power. But there is something else that makes this mission even more unsettling. The flight's duration, 434 days, suggests that the X-37B was designed to remain in space much longer than initially thought. Its longest mission, lasting 909 days between 2020 and 2022, had already made it clear that this vehicle is not just an experimental platform, but a key piece in a much more ambitious plan. When the X-37B landed in the darkness of the early morning on March 7, 2025, there were no grand announcements or detailed explanations. The public received only a brief statement from the U.S. Space Force declaring that the mission had been a success and represented an exciting new chapter for the program. Nothing about the specific experiments, nothing about strategic objectives, just an air of mystery that leaves more doubts than certainties. At this point, questions are inevitable. What was the X-37B really testing in space? What exactly does space domain awareness technology mean? Is a new military strategy being developed in Earth's orbit, away from public scrutiny and other nations? The secrecy surrounding the X-37B is reminiscent of other covert projects in history, such as the infamous U-2 spy plane program in the 1950s or the mysterious reconnaissance flights of the SR-71 Blackbird. At the time, these projects were shrouded in secrecy until, years later, their true function was finally revealed. Will the same happen with the X-37B, or will it remain an unsolved enigma in history? Adding another layer of intrigue, the involvement of private aerospace companies like SpaceX in military operations has raised eyebrows. The fusion of government agencies and private technology firms could lead to an era where powerful entities operate in orbit beyond public oversight. Could it be that the X-37B is part of a broader strategy to privatize military assets in space? Reports from amateur astronomers and skywatchers have fueled further speculation. Some claim to have observed the X-37B performing unusual orbital maneuvers, altering its altitude and direction unpredictably. This contradicts the conventional behavior of satellites and raises a crucial question. Is the X-37B simply an experimental platform, or is it actively engaging in missions that go beyond public knowledge? Then, there is the question of weaponization. Military strategists have long debated the possibility of space-based weapons, from kinetic bombardment systems, often referred to as rods from God, to directed energy weapons capable of disabling satellites from orbit. If the X-37B is testing any of these capabilities, the implications could be immense. A fully operational, reusable spacecraft with covert military applications could shift the balance of power in ways the world has yet to comprehend. Some experts suggest that the X-37B's missions are linked to the future of autonomous warfare. AI-powered spacecraft capable of executing complex maneuvers and conducting surveillance without human intervention could represent a significant leap in military space operations. Could the X-37B be laying the groundwork for a future fleet of autonomous warplanes patrolling Earth's orbit? As humanity turns its gaze toward interplanetary travel, the militarization of low Earth orbit is happening in parallel. While the world debates missions to Mars, the Moon and beyond, secret operations like those of the X-37B suggest that the real battles for dominance may already be taking place much closer to home. Perhaps in a few years we will look back and realize that these flights were not mere scientific tests, but the first moves in a cosmic chess game we do not yet fully understand. Until then, the X-37B will remain a ghost in the darkness, gliding through Earth's orbit, always present, always watching, and always wrapped in mystery. And maybe, just maybe, its true purpose will only be revealed when it is far too late to stop whatever it has been preparing for. Some even question whether the X-37B is the only one of its kind. Could there be a fleet of these spacecraft operating beyond our knowledge, carrying out simultaneous missions that shape the unseen conflicts of space? If so, the implications extend far beyond a single vehicle. They suggest an entirely new class of military presence, one that may remain invisible until the moment it is truly needed. And so, the enigma deepens. Every mission it undertakes adds another layer to the mystery, another piece to a puzzle that may never be fully solved. The X-37B's silent odyssey continues, leaving us with only one certainty. We are witnessing the dawn of a new era in space, one where the boundaries between exploration, surveillance, and warfare blur into a shadowy unknown. As the stars shine above us, we must wonder, is this only the beginning? Will we one day learn that the X-37B was merely the first step toward an even greater, more secretive endeavor? Or will its purpose remain hidden, locked away in classified reports and whispered among the corridors of power? The truth may be out there, but for now, it remains just beyond our reach, veiled in the endless darkness of space.